Yeah, it was a great week for us. We needed this week. 4-0 weeks, about as good as it gets. And I think we've had one other against BYU earlier in the year. We're kind of grinding our gears a little bit against App State, and we're able to respond and win that game on Sunday. I think it was 6-0. Build a sizable lead against Tulane and still kind of fight ourselves, and they wind up tying it in the ninth, and we're able to respond right back and win it in the bottom half. And then had a great trip over to Charleston, West Virginia, and had a great practice that night in Huntington. And I thought we played extremely well all three games. I thought the theme all weekend was starting pitching. Into the seventh, Coop finishes it, and then we go, I think, into the seventh again, maybe, or through six, and David Christie finishes it. Use 6 arms all told, and then get a great start out of Nezu, who's in the seventh, and Fluno comes in and finishes that one. And so did enough offensively. We were able to lengthen the field some this week and use the power of the long ball. Thought Rocco showed signs of really coming on. Max Marshak continues to improve, and Ben Robichaux kind of continues to do his thing. So we've got guys stepping up. Big John Taylor in the absence of Debo, and it's kind of been Zambo, Lejeune. CJ had a tremendous series this past weekend. So it was good to see. It was great team baseball. Anytime you get a sweep, especially on the road, it covers up a lot of stuff. And so I feel a little bit better about the App State series after doing what we did this past weekend.
Obviously, you're going to be playing some teams higher up in the standings, but was that kind of like the template of how y'all need to play moving forward and how to win?
That was just good baseball. You know, we've been working to play just good, nasty Cajun baseball, and I'd say the first game was pretty good. Second game got better, and the third game, that's how I'd like to start them. You know, we Shock leads off with a triple straight away. Roby jumps ship a couple of pitches later, and then Rock fights off to get a good 2-strike pitch where he's able to go down and get it and flip it out of the ballpark down the line. We're up 3-0, and it kind of took their breath away a little bit, and followed that up with some rock solid pitching. Really good defense. I think we're fielding close to 980 on the year now. I think we're at 978. So we're hitting several goals that we had before the season started. Wanted to field 980. We're right there. 400 on base. We're right there. Our walk totals are way, way, way up from a year ago. And I think we're plus 53 right now on freebies, which, to remind you, we finished the year minus 32 last year. So I think we can still take another step, and we're in the midst of doing that right now as a team. And when we hit it, it's going to be a lot of fun.
What's it like playing these out of conference or these conference games against teams that you haven't faced before?
It's a little bit weird. It's a little bit different. I like playing teams that I know what I'm going to get, and I'd never met their coach before. Obviously, has a great background, and after seeing them work for a day or so, settled in, and I thought, you know what, they're doing it the right way, and they were a worthy opponent and played hard. But that's a great question. It can be a little bit different.
So that's kind of scary and exciting.
Yeah, it is. Anything you don't know is going to cause a little bit of trepidation or anxiety, and I'm no different. I like to know what we're going to get.
You said that this team is ready to make another step. What is that next step, do you feel, in your opinion?
I don't know. I can't scratch that itch quite yet. It's a great question. I think it's just kind of a sum of every part, just a little more polished. And, I think when we see it, we're going to know. And I think that first inning was a good sign of it the other day on Sunday.
Your guys are used to playing in front of people. They draw energy from that. Is it difficult to go out in the situation? I know that they have some issues beyond their control. But is it difficult to go out when there's just nobody there?
Not if you love the game. And fortunately, for the past 2 years, I've had a clubhouse full of kids that love to play. And they'll play in the parking lot. They'll play at Huntington High School. They'll play at Georgia State. It doesn't matter. But you're exactly right. That can affect a lot of people. But this team is just a little bit uncommon that way, that they just love to compete and play. Is it nice playing in front of a great crowd? Certainly. But at the end of the day, you got to pitch it, field it, get on base, move them, get big hits. And we were fortunately able to do that pretty much all weekend. I thought every game kind of played out on the scoreboard pretty similar.
You're talking about only using 6 pitchers this weekend. For Blake McGahee to go out and have the performance that he did, how validating is that for you, knowing that you've been working to put him back in that Saturday role?
Yeah, he did. He was everything that we thought. And, they were a very aggressive team that a lot of times they were out of there within the first 3 pitches, and that didn't hurt at all. We played great defense. We executed pitches, and the pitchers executed a game plan, which was to get them to swing early, but not at, they were going to have to do it at our pitches. And time again, we were able to do that.
Where is Fluno in his development? I know it started out slower than y'all wanted, but where is he right now?
It's pretty good the other day. I mean, that was exciting. I'd say he's right there. I'd say, his development and what we see out of that will be shown this week. I mean, it's with 5 games against really good teams. We're going to certainly need him. So I hope he can continue the trend that he's on right now.
Did Jake answer all the questions that needed to be answered?
I thought so. We only had 2 moments where we didn't bounce back, and I think he had a perfect game going, maybe, or a no-hitter for a while. And they run a double or triple out there, and we follow that with a walk, and then I think we have maybe an error or something, and we follow something silly with another walk. That only happened twice when it's been showing up quite a bit. And to answer your question, yes.
Coach, this time last season, you guys were middle of the pack, 4, 5, 6, and now at this point, you're top in the conference. Do you think this team plays better when the target's kind of on their back?
I don't know that really is a thought as much as, hey, let's get to number 24. And we have an opportunity to do that tomorrow night. It's always part of our mission to win the league, and this is a position that we need to be in every year. I will say this to last year's team credit, after getting swept on the road, and then we had a couple of hiccups on and off the field. We were right there at the end going to the Texas State series to win that thing, and lost 3 2-run games. But then handle business in the tournament. And so I would love to win this league. I know the team wants to, but hey, we're not even halfway. We won't reach that until Sunday afternoon. So this league is very, very volatile. It's good. All you got to do is look at the scores. Anybody can beat anybody. You can't compare scores in this league, and that's the way it should be. But, yeah, we're right where we need to be. We're right where we've worked to be. Would I like to see us have 10 wins right now? I think most certainly. But we have an opportunity for that this weekend at the halfway point.
What is the starting pitching plan for the next 2 days, and when could Kyle be back?
I think you'll see Kyle this week. I would bet you in some capacity. He just got his stitches out a little while ago. Now we got to rehab that thing, get the range of motion and flexibility back in there. But it's not a question of is he going to hurt it any worse? Or once it's done, it's done. They remove the bone and it's out. We just got to let that thing heal up and get his range of motion back. So you could see him in a myriad of ways. Base running, defense, I don't know. But I think you'll see him. Moody will go tomorrow night. And we'll take it from there. The weekend rotation, good Lord willing, if everybody's good, we'll be Hammond and Nezu will stay on Saturday, like we discussed, and McGehee will go on Sunday.
Everybody good? The team you're playing for, Tech. Any initial thoughts about this team and like you guys facing off against them?
Well, they have one of the best coaches in the country, and not just the head coach, but Mitch Gaspard's been doing it a long time as well. They have great staff. They have a great track record over the last 5 years, and you can't look at records or anything like that. It'll be a great ball game tomorrow night, and like I always say, we're going to have to pitch it, defend it, get on base, move them, drive them in. So hopefully we can keep this thing going.